I have a daily devotion I want to share with you from 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 9 through 11. And this is what it says. It says, "The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteous deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this reason, God will send them strong delusion that they should believe the lie." All right, so we're talking about the coming of the lawless one. Now, when we hear the word lawless, we're really thinking about a man of rebellion. Okay, if Christ represents righteousness, then this man of rebellion, is a representation of lawlessness. Okay, many people believe that this is the Antichrist, which makes sense. Christ is righteousness, Antichrist, lawlessness. Okay, and he's going to come and he is going to perform miracles and signs and wonders, and people will be caught up in that. Now, the part that I want to focus on is not so much him, but the people's response to him. And it comes in verse 10. It says this, "And with all unrighteous deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved." Okay, they would not receive it. They heard the truth, but they would not receive it. Romans 1:28 says this, "And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a debased mind, to do those things which are not fitting." Okay, so the rejection of the truth occurred systematically, okay, over a period of time, to the point where God says, you know what, I'm just going to give you over to this. You want that? That's what you want. I really think that actually is the definition of hell, is God giving you what you want. And these people are like, I don't agree, I don't believe, I won't accept, I reject. And God's like, okay, you can have it. And that's exactly what happens. So he sends a strong delusion, that's what it says in verse 11, that they should believe the lie. Now, Romans 1:32 says this, "Who, knowing the righteous judgment of God, that those who practice such things are deserving of death, they not only do the same, but they also approve of those who practice them." Okay, so they reject truth, they practice sinfulness, and then they approve of those who practice evil as well. This is the world that we live in right now, friends, and I know you know that. Okay, that's what's going on in our culture. This is happening. It's happening in the world. It's happening in culture. Sadly, it's happening in churches. Okay, people that call themselves Christians, this whole progressive Christianity movement, which is not Christianity at all. All right, it is seeping into the church. And we look at this and we listen to the politicians and we listen to these public figures and we think, how could people believe this? Like these people are spewing so much lies and so much hatred. Are people really that dumb to believe this? And let me just tell you, yes, people really are that dumb. Why? Because they have rejected the truth, and so God has sent a strong delusion so that they are incapable of actually believing the truth anymore. They only will believe the lie. God has given them what they want. He has given them over to a debased mind, and they are capable of hearing and receiving the truth any longer. Now, that is a dangerous place to find yourself. And the reason why I wanted to share that with you, believers that are here today, is because this should be a warning. This should be a clarion call to us that as believers in Jesus Christ, as people who uphold God's word, we need to be people who love the truth, who stand for the truth, that are able to stand against the culture that we live in, and even people that call themselves Christians and don't believe God's word. We need to be able to stand. We need to have a heart that's ready to receive this truth, even when it hurts, even when it's rejected, or even when it doesn't line up with our own politics or ideology. This is the truth. And so when something in our heart, obviously there's areas of the Bible that that we love, we're drawn to, it ministers to us, we agree. And then there's certain areas where it's like, oh, that's a little hard. I don't know, God, does that still apply today? Are you for real for right now? 2024, does this apply? And see, when that happens, friend, when that happens, we need to be people who say, Lord, your truth is upheld. It's upheld above everything else. I'm going to uphold it. All right. It doesn't matter what I think or how I feel. It's truth. And so work in my heart that I would stop resisting it, that something in my flesh would stop wanting to say, I don't know about that. And instead, when I open this, I receive it. Okay. So that we are not ones who will not receive the love of the truth. That's the warning at the end. We want to be people who receive the truth, even when it hurts, even when it's problematic, even when it brings division in our household, in our families, in our workplaces. We need to be people who speak the truth. So take warning today and let God's truth come and truly set you free in those areas where you might be a little stuck or confused. God bless you.